Welcome to the top 5 trails of 2023. Number 5. My number 5 pick is the Erie Lackawanna Trail in Indiana. The Erie Lackawanna Trail runs from Hammond in the north down to Crown Point in the south. It's about 18 miles long and is paved the entire way. It's also on the top 10 trails list according to Rails to Trails. When in Hammond, be sure to check out the Tribute to Our Troops Memorial. That's right by the connection to the Monon Trail. You can also take a side trail which will take you to the Indiana Welcome Center, which has a bunch of cool things to see, and they also have some stuff related to the movie A Christmas Story.
There was no going back now.
This is next. Stop! 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 Stop!
When in Highland, be sure to check out the cool trailhead. When in Griffith, be sure to check out the Griffith Train Museum. And when you make it all the way south to Crown Point, you'll see the coolest trailhead on the trail. And that's why it's my number 5 pick for 2023. If you're in the area, you should definitely check out the Erie Lackawanna Trail. Number 4. My number 4 pick is in Wisconsin, the Badger State Trail. The Badger State Trail is about 40 miles long and runs from the Illinois state line at the south all the way up to Fitchburg at the north. On the southern end, it runs directly into the Jane Addams Trail in Illinois, and that trail runs an additional 17.2 miles south to Freeport. Because the trail is so long, we had to divide it up into 2 separate rides. The first section we started in Monroe and ran south to the state line and then north up to the Sugar River State Trail. That ride was about 36 miles long. On our second ride, we started at the trailhead in Belleville and ran south to the Sugar River State Trail and then up north to the Southwest Bike Path. That section was about 45 miles long round trip. One of the things I really like about this trail is the ability to access other trails. At the very south end, you could access the Jane Addams Trail in Illinois. And as you work your way north, you have access to the Sugar River State Trail, the Military Ridge State Trail, the Capital City State Trail, and the Southwest Bike Path. We rode this trail in 2023, but I knew of its existence a couple years earlier. One of the reasons I kept putting off this trail was the closure of the Stewart Tunnel. The Stewart Tunnel is one of the things I was most interested in checking out on this trail, but it unfortunately to this day is still closed. During the ride, we checked out both of the detours, the purple route and the blue route, so if you're interested in seeing what either of the detours look like that go around the Stewart Tunnel, be sure to check out the video. When in Monroe, be sure to check out the F86 Sabre. When in Monticello, be sure to check out the Pink Heifer Saloon and Smokehouse. The place was very cool, the people were very nice, and the ribs were amazing. Another place to check out in Monticello is the King's Bar and Grill. A nice bartender and cold beer makes for a nice place to take a break. And those are some of the reasons why the Badger State Trail is number 4 on my list of top trails of 2023.
Number 3.
My number 3 pick is technically 2 trails, the Mariners Trail and the Rawley Point Trail. The Mariners Trail runs from Manitowoc on the south up to Two Rivers on the north end. Then you could follow the signs to connect to the southern end of the Rawley Point Trail. So when you put it all together, you have about a 30-mile ride round trip. And what I really love about these trails is that they are basically complete opposites. When you start the Mariners Trail from Manitowoc, you basically have Lake Michigan on your right and Memorial Drive on your left. When you're at the southern end of the trail here in Manitowoc, you should definitely cross the river and check out the wharf. We were able to pull our bikes right up to the outdoor seating area, and everyone was real nice. As you work your way north, you'll soon come across the USS Cobia, which was decommissioned in 1954. You'll eventually come across a side path that'll take you to the Manitowoc North Breakwater Lighthouse. As you continue north, there's all sorts of cool things to check out. Statues, 3D maps, and there's a bunch of little places to pull over. About 8.5 miles north, you'll eventually come across the Tipsy Tomato across the street. The vast majority of the Rawley Point Trail, on the other hand, runs through a state forest. This trail is a ton of fun. It's way more hilly than I expected and also pretty curvy. It feels way more isolated and makes you forget that the first part of this ride, which was on the Mariners Trail, was way more city-like. Now, technically speaking, we haven't ridden the entirety of this trail yet. There was a small section that was closed when we rode it last year. We plan to go back to the Manitowoc area and re-ride these trails at some point later this year. Once you get to the top of the trail, you'll have access to a walking trail which will take you to see the lighthouse. You also have access to the beach. About a third of the way into the trail, you'll come across a side trail which will take you to Port Sandy Bay. The day we rode this, unfortunately, they were not open yet, but we definitely plan to check this out at some point this year. On the connector between the two trails, we came across the Waverly Inn. Definitely a place worth checking out. So if you're in this area of Wisconsin, I would definitely check out the 2 of these trails. It makes for a really nice ride, and we look forward to going back this year.
Number 2.
My number 2 pick for 2023 is the Green Bay Trail in Cook County. The Green Bay Trail starts where the Robert McClory Trail in Lake County stops. The trail itself is about 6.5 miles long and runs from Glencoe down to Wilmette. You definitely have the ability to extend the ride when you're riding the Green Bay Trail. You could go north into Lake County on the Robert McClory bike path. You could take the connection to the North Branch Trail, or you could veer off on some side streets to check out some beaches at Lake Michigan. The trail is a combination of crushed limestone, paved, and there's some sections you have to ride on some streets. As you ride south through Glencoe, once you hit Park Avenue, you could start heading east if you wanted to check out Glencoe Beach. Once you make your way south into Winnetka, you have the ability to check out one of my favorite Chicagoland movie shooting locations, the Home Alone house.
671. Now. And that's the one, Marvin. That's the silver tuna.
Once you reach the end of the trail in Wilmette, you have the ability to ride down Greenleaf Avenue and a couple side streets to make your way to the Baha'i House of Worship. This place is architecturally stunning. We were unable to get into the temple when we rode this trail last year, so I'm really looking forward to checking out the inside of that temple at some point this year. If you keep winding your way to Harbor Road, you'll eventually make it to Gilson Beach. When we rode this trail back in November, none of the businesses had their outdoor seating set up anymore. So that's one of the things we're going to really look forward to when we give this trail another ride during summer. Based on what we saw, it looked like there was a lot of places that would have outdoor seating during the summer. If you guys are in the area, I would definitely suggest giving this trail a ride. It's definitely worth checking out, and you have access to ride on other trails as well.
Number 1.
And my number 1 pick, my top trail of 2023, the DuPage River Trail. In all honesty, this was a trail I was putting off for the past couple years, mainly because it's what I consider messy. Let me explain. This is the DuPage River Trail according to Rails to Trails Conservancy. But you're not seeing the whole thing, because the trail's also in 7 other disconnected parts. Now, I'm not a fan of that type of trail design. If these disconnected segments are ever connected, then it will make for a really nice trail. But the way it is right now, it's messy, and in my opinion shouldn't be part of the DuPage River Trail until it's actually connected to the DuPage River Trail. All of that said, this is still a great trail. The main section of the trail runs about 12 miles, starting from Knock Knolls Park on the south end, and you can make your way all the way north to the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. This trail has sections that are paved, crushed limestone, and on side streets. Once you get down to the southern end of my map, you can ride the DuPage River Greenway, which is connected though separate from the DuPage River Trail. It's definitely worth checking out if you make your way as far south as Knock Knolls Park. As you make your way north, you'll eventually come across a tunnel which will give you access to the southern DuPage County Regional Trail. As you make your way closer to Naperville, you'll come across the Gold Star Family's Memorial Monument. Definitely worth checking out. In Naperville, there's a bunch of sculptures you could check out. They do have a riverwalk in Naperville, although bikes are not allowed on the riverwalk. When we rode this trail last year, we didn't get to explore the Naperville area as much as we would have liked. The next time we ride this trail, we're going to definitely check out more of the downtown Naperville area. It looks like there's a lot of places you could eat or grab a drink. One of the other things I'm really looking forward to checking out is the Millennium Carillon. As you continue working your way north, you'll eventually come across the Falwell Dam, which you ride right on top of. Once you get into Warrenville, you have access to Warrenville Grove. One of the great things about the DuPage River Trail is the fact that it's connected into other trail systems. At the north end, it connects to the Aurora branch of the Illinois Prairie Path. Once you make it to the Prairie Path, you really open yourself up to a lot of different trails. You'd have access to the Fox River Trail, the Prairie Trail, the Great Western Trail, the Virgil Gilman Trail, among others. If you like checking out trails in the Chicagoland area, this is definitely a trail you should check out. So those were the top 5 trails I rode in 2023. What were the top trails you rode? Let me know in the comments below. And before I go, I might as well give you guys a quick update. Due to the unseasonably warm weather in Chicagoland, I was able to get my first ride of the year done, which was way earlier than expected, but that's great because it gave me time to but you'll have to wait till that video is released before you know what I'm talking about. Last month, I did a channel update if you're interested in seeing some of the rides that I've planned for 2024. If you're interested in seeing that, look for the link in the description below. As always, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. And that's all I've got for my top 5 trails of 2023. I'll catch you on the next ride. Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below.